everybody, how's it going? Another week, another Venture Brother review recap, whatever you want to call it. And sorry for the lateness of this one, but I had to really rewatch this episode a couple of times because I didn't like immediately love it like I did the previous two episodes of this season, and mostly because there's a few little flaws in this one that kind of really bug me, and one potentially big flaw, which is going to be a spoiler. So I'll just throw that out there for people who haven't watched this episode yet, because this is actually kind of a big spoiler. So yeah, and I'm not saying that, by the way, this is like a horrible, bad fucking episode. It's good. It's just it's not at the fucking height and the fucking the speed and the pace of the last two. And even one flaw I'll get into, because I think this is going to be a flaw for the entire season, is the fucking premiere fucking spoiled me, because that was probably one of the biggest flaws of this episode. A lot of the things in here would have been much better suited to an hour-long episode. The whole fucking Dean hatred storyline, the whole Dr. Venture and Monarch storyline, the whole Sphinx storyline, those could have really been played out a lot more and drugged out a little bit longer than they did. A lot of this stuff in this episode just gets abruptly dropped. But before I get talking into the shit I hate, let me talk about the shit I loved. I loved the old Sphinx guys, especially Sphinx Commander with his Cobra Commando voice, and just the fact that he can't control, as somebody who cannot literally control the volume of their voice, I love that, where everybody's like, why are you still screaming? So yeah, but again, he was great, but he's barely fucking in the episode. He speaks 4 fucking times. Diamond Backdraft, I literally only got the fucking the joke, his name after the episode had ended. Diamond Back, type of snake. Backdraft, type of fire. He's a fire dude who's obsessed with snakes. Windsong was there could have been something with Windsong, but he was fucking wasted, unless they're going to potentially bring them back. But if they do try to bring them back, it's going to be, they're going to have a very short shelf life, because the whole cyanide pill in their fucking brain thing. I really like the stuff with Dean and Hatred, although that leads me into another one of my complaints on this episode. I've said it numerous times. I am an out and out supporter of Hatred. I've loved him ever since he first came in, but I kind of wish they would pick what they want to do with Hatred. Do they want Hatred to be a buffoon, or do they want Hatred to actually be somewhat competent at his fucking job? That kind of annoys me, that they keep pitter-pattering between these two fucking extremes here, and I wish they would just pick one. Either Hatred's a fucking buffoon, or Hatred is actually fairly competent at his job. And that's leading to a lot of people to be worried that Gary, since Sphinx is no longer existent, Gary's going to be assigned to be the Venture Brothers' new bodyguard, which I think is going to happen, but I don't think he's going to actually replace Hatred, per se. I think, because, that's another scene I loved, was, the scene when Hatred and Gary were, anything with Hatred and Gary just yelling at each other was comic fucking gold in this. Especially, the whole fight over Destiny, and that's another thing, too, that, really bugged me. Hatred can't fucking tell that's Hank, but, Brock Sampson immediately fucking's yeah, that's Hank, as soon as he hears the voice. That's Hank. Hatred heard the fucking voice. Why couldn't Hatred figure it out? Again, it just goes into the whole thing, is Hatred either a buffoon, or is he fucking competent at this shit? But yeah, I love the stuff with, Gary and Hatred. I mean, yeah, they're a dysfunctional team, but like they actually fucking like together they make a pretty good Brock Samson. Also, I like, just a little quick aside, I loved acid magnets. That shit, like, this is, like, still, like, that makes me laugh every time I rewatch this episode. It's just the Monarch's whole little fucking diatribe about, like, the acid magnets. And he's like, and just when they're getting ready to quake in fear, boom, acid maggots! Not acid maggots. Acid maggots would be cool, too. Fucking make that happen, Doc. Make that happen, Doc and Jackson. Fucking goddamn acid maggots. I also liked, again, like I like there's a lot of things I liked in this episode, but they lead into flaws. Like I really like this stuff when Dr. Girlfriend and fucking Monarch went and snuck into the Venture compound. But like I was watching that, I was like, this would have been a great episode by itself and not as some kind of fucking B or C plot in an actual episode. So that was, like, really fucking annoying. Because, like, that was one of the things I actually got excited about, like, reading the synopsis for this episode, was when I saw, like, Monarch tries to ingrain himself with Dr. Venture, which is honestly kind of fucking misleading. He's not really ingraining himself. It's not like, oh, I'm going to disguise myself as somebody and become Doc Venture's best friend. No, they were just disguising themselves to get access to the compound. He'll probably never see, you know, those two fucking people again. So that was, like, fucking disappointing. I really liked we finally got our first glimpse at the new OSI, and I'm intrigued, especially seeing that, like, it seems like the new OSI is going to be a lot more proactive than the original, where the original was willing to let the Guild of Calamitous Intent exist, because, you know, they saw it as like, okay, if the supervillains get together and do their own shit, and they have rules about it, and they don't go too fucking crazy, and we step in to stop them when they do go crazy, that's okay. But no, Hunter seems like he wants to take the fight to the guild, which I'm like, that's gonna be interesting. But like, so like that I like. What else? Again, I just, like, so many little things that bug me. Like, fucking Hank. After seeing Hank become such a fucking badass last episode, to just have him go back to dope fucking Hank. And, like, here's the thing. Look, yeah, Hank's a fucking idiot, but I don't think he'd be that fucking stupid to forget why he was wearing a female bodysuit. Like, he wouldn't be like, hey, why am I still in the suit with boobs? Oh, yeah, it has super strength. Like, why would he forget that? Like, it just annoyed. Like, he was so excited about finding that suit, and then he's like, oh, yeah, I forgot it was fucking this. And then, like, Gary. That's the thing. Well, not, like, the actual thing that kind of disappoints me about this episode. That's coming in a bit. But, like, just, like, Gary's been on, like, this constant evolution of being a badass, and that, like, this episode, like, just kind of ruined that. Although, I will say this. I am glad that they got Gary's failure out of the way early this year, because that's been one of my biggest complaints about the last two seasons, is 21 has gotten the shit end of the stick at the end of each fucking season. Fucking season 3, 24 gets killed. At the end of season 4, fucking, you know, he leaves his dream job. So, like, I'm glad they didn't wait until the very last episode to destroy Sphinx. They got that out of the way early so Gary can move on and find something else. So I'm glad, like, this so far isn't shaping up to be another season where Gary gets shit on. But, like, okay, and I put it off long enough. The thing that really bugged me, they might have explained why Monarch hates Dr. Venture, and to me that is such a huge gamble, because, like, I've always been of the belief that Monarch's hatred for Dr. Venture should not be explained. It should just, like, nothing. Like, it's so much better when Monarch just hates him and you have no fucking clue why he does. Like, there's no fucking reason for his hatred. Kind of like me and a lot of the people and a lot of the things I hate. There's, like, no actual real fucking reason. Like, me and my Google hate. Like, I don't even remember the reasons I hate fucking Google anymore. Like, that would have been a good, like, little explanation. It's like, you want to know why I hate you? I don't even remember why I hate you. That's how much I fucking hate you. All of my brain has to be occupied just by fucking hate. Not by facts or fucking anything else, just by hatred of you. So if you didn't see it, Monarch found a picture in one of Dr. Venture's family photo books, and it showed the Monarch's mom and dad with Jonas Sr., and Rusty and Monarch playing on a little picnic blanket. It also had Colonel Gentleman, Action Man, and was it Speedy? I think it was Speedy. The boxer dude who wore the hover boots, I think that was Speedy. So it had him. So it had those three in the background playing football. So I'm guessing like there's a couple here. One, Monarch and Rusty are half brothers. That's the obvious one. So that's why I'm throwing that one out there first, because like that one is way too obvious. Like that's the one everybody is expected. Here's my idea. Twins follow in the Venture family line. Rusty's a twin, his sons are twins. Whose twin have we not seen? And yes, I know that Monarch's dad did not look like Jonas Venture, but neither do Hank and Dean. They don't look alike. So, they could be, what is it? Is it fraternal? I think it's fraternal twins. Yeah, I think it's fraternal twins when, you're just twins and you don't look alike. So that's my guess, is something like that. That they're related somehow. Like they might be cousins or something. Another guess is maybe just they were friends. And maybe like fucking the jet that the Monarch's parents owned that crashed and killed them and made him into fucking what he is today. Maybe that was like Venture Industries jet. And he blames Venture, and since Senior is fucking dead, like, there's only one left. Here's another interesting thing I was thinking about, too. What if, like, Monarch is the real Rusty Venture? I know, that's kind of weird. Just, like, hold on with me here for a second. What if Jonas, because, like, Jonas has been shown to constantly be a horrible, horrible, horrible human being with no regard for fucking anything. No regard for child welfare, no regard for life, nothing. So, it wouldn't be too far of a stretch for him to look at his biological son and be like, this isn't boy adventuring material. Maybe I should find one of my friends and swap our children. I think that would be an interesting take, and it would definitely fit in with the themes of the Venture universe, of just being a horrible, fucked up place. So let's see, what else? That's pretty much it. Like, yeah, I was disappointed in the anticlimactic ending for Sphinx, but like, that fits in with the fucking show. Like, it's the ending of Sphinx is very much parallel to like the ending of the Orb saga. So, that works. I kind of wish maybe they, let Gary have at least one full episode of just Sphinx before they took it away, but, yeah, whatever. So, yeah, that's pretty much all of my thoughts. Didn't love it, but also, like, at the same time, I didn't hate it. Like, this was a good episode. Just, like, a good, average episode. Man, I have been, like, using average for a lot. Like, just saying, like, yeah, that's average. That's really good. Just, like, is that what my life's become, people? Where I'm just, like, I'm so used to just shit, where I'm just like, oh, yeah, fuck yeah, something's average, yeah!